Hi, this is Mrs. Wiederholt. Welcome to my lesson video on factoring. Now this is just a basic review on factoring trinomials and factoring binomials. Now let's get started. First we are going to review factoring a trinomial when a equals 1. Now let's factor the trinomial x squared minus 10x plus 9. Now the first thing I would do is I would label my A, my B, and my C. Well, my A is invisible 1, my B is negative 10, and my C value is 9. Now we can go ahead and find the factors of C that can be added to equal B. So I usually do that something like this. What times what equals the C value? But if I were to add those two numbers, they would equal the B value. Now we need to actually find the factors of 9. Well, I basically know there's two pairs. We could go with 3 times 3, or we could go with 9 times 1. Now remember, we could make the factors be negative or positive. We'll see which we might need. If I look at 3 times 3, that equals 9, but 3 plus 3, or negative 3 plus negative 3, does not equal negative 10. So I cannot use that pair of factors. So now I'm going to look at the next pair. 9 times 1 equals 9, and 9 plus 1 equals positive 10. Well, if I were to say negative 9 plus negative 1, that would equal negative 10. And if I multiplied them, negative 9 times negative 1, it would equal positive 9. So basically, I have found my factor pair. Negative 9 times negative 1 equals 9, and negative 9 plus negative 1 equals negative 10. Now we are ready to set up our factors. Now we will have two binomials, and each one will start with x. So our first one will be x, and it will be minus 9, because that's one of our factors. That's one of our factors of 9. The next one will be x minus 1, because that's our other factor of 9. So there you go. We have just factored this trinomial. Now let's go ahead and just do a quick review over factoring binomials. Let's factor the binomial 8x plus 56. Now the first thing you want to do is find the greatest common factor of 8 and 56. In order to know our greatest common factor, we first have to know the factors of each number. So first let's go with 8. What are my factors of 8? Well, I know that 1 times 8 is equal to 8, and I know that 2 times 4 is equal to 8. Okay, so those are my factors of 8. Now let's find the factors of 56. 56, I know that 1 times 56, 2 times 23, 4 times 14, and 7 times 8. Okay, so those are all of my factors for 8 and for 56. So I need to find the greatest common factor, or the largest factor that both have in common. And in this case, that factor that would be the greatest common factor is 8. So after you find your GCF, or your greatest common factor, you're now going to divide each term by that GCF. So we had 8x plus 56, and our GCF is 8. So we're going to divide each term by 8. And so when we do that, 8x divided by 8 is going to be x, because these cancel out. And then 56 divided by 8 is 7. Okay? So now we are ready to rewrite this in factored form. You take the GCF and you put it in front of the parentheses. And then inside the parentheses, you put the x plus 7. And there you have it. We have just factored 8x plus 56. Now, like I said at the beginning of the video, this is just a review over basic factoring. It is not meant to teach you everything there is to know about factoring. It's just to be a little review to help you remember in case you've forgotten some of this. So I hope this has helped you, and I look forward to working with you again. Bye-bye.